This is mason mix. The reason why it's black, so you can't see the shadows after you stick it. These are water tables, and they keep the water going it that way. This is a piece of cultured stone, and I'm going to stick it on that wall, which is a whole drain system, and it looks terrible because this has to grab, hold. This isn't just a job. You have to be an artist. Kind of have to have an eye. And the best days to work are on rainy days. Next, grab a piece, look, make sure you have your latex spray. What that does is it ensures your bond. See, lightweight cement, stamped color, and we use black. And then we just put it on. Hold. Keep holding. When you get to about a count of 10, if it hangs, you're good. Look at your rock. If you don't like it, don't use it. Some pieces will have stamp marks. Break it off. Put it in places. See if you like it. If you don't like it, don't use it. Don't think twice about it. Just do it. With that, I like it. Break off any interruptions. Make sure you burn it into the back. Spray your area. Again, latex. That ensures your bond. Wiggle. Don't push. Wiggle. Hold. Do not scrape it all off. If you scrape it all off, you won't have your bond. This is mason mix, wire, and there's Tyvek, and it's a whole drain system. Moisture goes back, it'll go through that, it'll hit the drain, and it'll come out. It's pretty cool. Burn it into the back. And sometimes you'll just pick up pieces and won't like it. Don't use it. Get another piece. Look it, put it in different spaces. It's not too bad. Look at every piece. Make sure nothing is what someone wouldn't like. And don't try to be fast, because if you try to be fast, it's going to look like you tried to be fast. Even if you're really, really good, you'll still have mistakes. Mortar mix typically sweeps up after it dries. And on wet days, everything is a little more forgiving than with heat. My recommendation, if there's heat, is have a covered area and get your mortar about as borderline too wet. Like a runny milkshake. Let's see. Let's just do this. Hold. Make sure that you push the mortar against the prepped area first. Hold. And it'll stay. If it falls, it's because you did not burn it into the back. You didn't follow my previous instructions. Okay. Repeat. Every so often you have to step back and take a look, see if stuff is good. This job is really far along. It's 90% through. So unfortunately I didn't get to show you the steps of prepping. The fun part is all you get to see. Spray your area. Try to do your bottoms first, any kind of bottom, and try not to be too repetitious, because remember, nothing is perfect. And the sooner you accept that and let go, the better your stuff will be. It's not a game of how fast we can get it done, because if you do it that way, 10 times out of 10, you're going to have to replace a lot. Doing it the right way is the only way I like to do it. It's harder, it's more frustrating, but in the end, it's worth it. Believe me, it's not as easy as it looks. Done. And always keep a variety of pieces in front of you so you don't have to keep getting up. Typically I should have a helper, but I don't. Burn it into the back. Always keep a bucket of water next to you, because you will drop mud, and be prepared to make a mess, because you're going to make a mess. And always have food at your job. Oop. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Don't push, because it won't give. Like when you're walking on the beach, you're going down. When you step on the sand, the water recedes from the sand. So this is the same thing. It's sand, it's cement, it's type S mortar mix. You push, you're not going to get anywhere, so you have to wiggle. This is a strange piece, and we have too many longs, so my judgment tells me to find something that will scatter the joints, because the structure of something like this with the Coulter stone, it's all held in by each other. It's called a dry stack. Now, dry stack is what you're seeing. It's held together by an interlock. And if you have a bunch of straight lines, then it's not going to have any hold. This is a veneer. It's all design and art, so there's really no structure. It's just a picture, a pretty picture. The prettier it is, well, it's pretty. Wiggle. There you go. Just like that. I've got 12 years experience doing this, and I love it. I get to be in the nicest places, deal with the nicest people, and most of all, I get to be out in the rain. Nope. Nope. Ha! Wiggle, wiggle. Now, we have little pieces. Sometimes not everything has a lot of grip, so we have to make up for that. If you care about what you're doing, if anyone were to work for me, if they didn't do it like this, they'd have to learn how to etch it, because there will be no grab. It'll stay, it'll look nice, but it won't have the adhesion that you want. I'm showing you a way to make a climbing wall. You will be able to climb this and be safe. Spray, because if it's too dry, the cement and the chemicals that is made with this mortar won't penetrate. You can use red dyes, you can use green dyes. This is a dry stack, so we're not going to grout. Bag it. Bag it means put a different color and go in the joints and spoon it. This is not that style. This is a mix of 70% this type, and a 30% of a cobbled dry stack. This is a totally different stone, and this project is unusual, and I'm very proud of it. And it's taking me a while, but it's good. I wanted to okay. Let's get one out here. So the idea with this specific style is it's 3D. It's a 3D stone art. And believe me, you don't want anyone just coming up and doing this on your house. It's just what's left after it from being stamped. Okay. You have your basic field pieces. And then you have the pieces that set it off. You don't want every joint to match. You don't want every stone to be the same color. And along the way, it'll kind of look funny because it's not all done. And if you know that, then you won't worry. Believe me, people worry. And it's perfectly natural to worry about something like this because it's worth a lot of money. But it's okay. It's a rock. Okay, don't there. Maybe that's... Yeah, I think that'll work. And cuts, any kind of breaks, you can still use them. The most you'll need to do when you're setting, just have a chipping hammer, and it just pops off. You can't do this with a negative attitude because it will show. Okay. Always make sure that your cut pieces are behind anything with the factory edge, so you can't see the broken side. It's not a waste when it's broke because you're gonna have little tiny holes. There's no guideline with this. It's totally up to the artist. It's more art than anything. And that concludes this section.